The Purple Peleus by H. G. Wells. Narrated by Rainer Borton. Mr. Coombs was sick of life. He walked away from his unhappy home and sick not only of his own existence, but of everybody else's. Turned aside down Gaswork Lane to avoid the town, and, crossing the wooden bridge that goes over the canal to Starling's cottages, was presently alone in the damp pine woods and out of sight and sound of human habitation. He would stand it no longer. He repeated aloud, with blasphemies unusual to him, that he would stand it no longer. He was a pale-faced little man, with dark eyes and a fine and very black moustache. He had a very stiff, upright collar, slightly frayed, that gave him an illusionary double chin, and his overcoat, albeit shabby, was trimmed with astrakhan. His gloves were a bright brown, with black stripes over the knuckles, and split at the finger ends. His appearance, his wife had said once in the dear, dead days beyond recall, before he married her, that is, was military. But now she called him, it seems a dreadful thing to tell love between husband and wife, but she called him a little grub. It wasn't the only thing she had called him either. The row had arisen about that beastly Jenny again. Jenny was his wife's friend, and, by no invitation of Mr. Coombs, she came in every blessed Sunday to dinner, and made a shindy all the afternoon. She was a big, noisy girl, with a taste for loud colours and a strident laugh. And this Sunday she had outdone all her previous intrusions by bringing in a fellow with her, a chap as showy as herself. And Mr. Coombs, in a starchy, clean collar and his Sunday frock-coat, had sat dumb and wrathful at his own table, while his wife and her guests talked foolishly and undesirably and laughed aloud. Well, he stood that, and after dinner, which, as usual, was late, what must Miss Jenny do but go to the piano and play banjo tunes, for all the world as if it were a weekday. Flesh and blood could not endure such goings-on. They would hear next door. They would hear in the road. It was a public announcement of their disrepute. He had to speak. He had felt himself go pale.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?